Hello, in this video we are going to take you on a before and after journey and show you how someone living in the diaspora renovated an old house to a high standard and put it on Airbnb. If you've been thinking about building or renovating back home, then you don't want to miss this video. If we haven't met before, my name is Natasha Chumia, and on this channel, I like to give you information and inspiration to help you in the diaspora invest in property back home in a safe and reliable way. And I'm really excited about today's video because it's a before and after. We are featuring someone like you from the diaspora who took a home and renovated it and freshened it up and is now going to put it on Airbnb. So I'm so happy to be joined by Ian today. Ian, how are you?
I am good, thanks. How are you doing, Natasha?
I'm great. Let's start by telling everyone who you are and where you're based.
My name is Ian Membe, and I work in Lesotho. I've been here for a few years now, more than 5 years.
Tell us how you came to acquire your house in Ibex Hill.
Having bought properties that were already built, so these are much smaller two-bed apartments in the other side of Ibex Hill, near Twin Palms Mall. That experience kind of taught me a few things. So when it became time for me to think about, should I build or should I buy? I thought about that, and because I had bought those two, that experience helped me to understand a few things about, the pricing in the market, the cost of land plus construction versus the cost of an already built place. So I held on to the money I had and just started waiting for, when I see a good deal, I'll spring for it. So somebody pinged me on this property on the other side of Ibex now, right next to Kablonga. And that property came up and, it was in the right price margin, right space, location, excellent. And so we went for it. And when I looked at the pricing of just bare land in Ibex compared to a property that was already built, that was actually already on rent for a good price, this made more than too much sense. So we went for it. We did all our due diligence, of course, checked Ministry of Lands and everything. And yes, it was a perfect property for us. So we got that. I thought about, should we keep this person on rent, get the income, or upgrade it and see the upside potential to it? And so we're rebuilding it with that kind of thinking. Yeah, so that's how we got that property. Now it's about 2.5 years ago. Yes. And so if you look at the trajectory, how long it would have taken us to construct versus how long it took us. Yeah.
I love that story, Ian, because it's evident that you really took time to understand the market, to understand what you wanted. And you said something really interesting. You said that you looked at the price of land and the cost of building and decided that you were going to get something already built. And it's a dilemma that a lot of people in your position in the diaspora have. Do we go with something that is already built, or do we buy land and start building? So could you say more a bit about your reasoning and how you arrived at your conclusion? Because I think that will be really helpful to a lot of people watching this video.
To find a house in the area where we did, so the location thing. And so thinking through all of that, you're getting a house that's already built in an already good area. If I wanted to just put it on rent and I start getting income immediately, if you add value to it, the upside value goes up quite significant. I'll compare this way. A friend of mine, they started constructing maybe 3 years before us. And I know they've been at the same pace. They're not missing a bit. They're doing almost everything. So the amount of time that it took them and the amount of time that it took us to do the renovation, because we only added, we did quite a little bit, and I'll talk about some of the renovation aspects. We did quite a bit, but within a year and a half, we were done. we should have been done much earlier. It should have been like a few months work.
Let's talk now about the state of the property when you bought it. Tell us how you found that property. In what state did you find that property?
It was in a good enough state. Those houses were really built solid by National Housing Authority back then. So the only things that, really struck you. So it's things like the windows were still the old type. You wanted to modernize some of the kitchens for those houses are pretty tiny. So very small. So obviously that was one thing that really struck you as soon as you saw it. But the property itself, very solid infrastructure, very solid building.
Tell us then how you found a contractor to help you with the renovations, because I assume you started with that first, of course, before you went into the interior design. So tell us how you found a contractor, because that's another thing that people in the diaspora always want to know.
How we found them, the person who sold us the person who facilitated the sale, the person who had advertised, the one who reached out and said, we actually also have a contractor who we work with. This contractor was already doing stuff with the government and with other, and they had a good resume and things like that. I had a chat with them. I could see their works they were doing. So they did a good job with the block work and things like that. We had found an architect first to help with the design and everything, but the contractor ended up taking over all of those roles. They had internal people to do all that work.
Okay, and what design work did the architect do for you?
I described to them what I wanted. I took some pictures, I overlaid them in PowerPoint, and I did a few things, like, I want some cladding here, I want some pillars here, I want, things like that. What the contractor also came back with some very good ideas. For example, the master bedroom didn't have a bathroom. And so I suggested that I want a bathroom and a shower. So they suggested, if we do extend, if you're having this much space here and we're going to do this extension, I think you can throw in both a bathtub and a shower and they'll fit nicely. And that was a good change. So we ended up expanding the block work for the master bedroom itself. So if I can describe quickly the two main things, I guess three main things that we changed about the house is we extended the kitchen a little out. That way we have space for putting, like a dishwasher and a washer. The kitchen itself has room. So we kept that. And then behind, we extended what used to be the garage, made it into a guest wing, then extended outward and added a family room. Now, the roof on top of the family room, we kept that flat. And then that became now the balcony for the master bedroom. Then the roof on top of the kitchen also, we kept that flat. And that became another balcony for another one of the bedrooms. I think so then the guest room, self-contained, and added, increased the bathroom space upstairs. So those, I think, are the four main things that we did. And that's what took up kind of the block work and stuff.
That's brilliant. And you went from a family room to a 4-bedroomed house, is that correct?
Exactly. From a 3-bedroomed house to a 4-bedroomed house with a family room. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. With the master bedroom self-contained.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now, what about in the yard? What did you do in the yard?
So then we had to do some work in the yard. So the parking space first was a bit straight and you just kind of go straight to the house. I made it so you could turn and park on the side. So that increased the parking space to maybe it could fit about 4 cars initially, to where you can now we could go up to 12 because now you can go around behind. We repaved the whole yard. And then on the front, on the left, we did a swimming pool. We installed a swimming pool, and that just changed the whole landscape. Excellent. In terms of our contractors, I give them stars. The swimming pool guy, 5 stars, from the word go. It's the nature of the beast.
Can you say who that guy was?
I can pull his name up and then I'll give you the details, and then that way you can add him to the comments below.
Okay, great. So that's
Yeah.
fantastic. You've told us about what you did to the house, to the structure. You've told us what you did in the yard. So now tell us about the interiors. Once you had finished
All
all
right.
the design work and the heavy like construction part.
Yeah. So one more thing for the yard. Again, another excellent guy. He does mostly like trees management. He helps to cut trees and stuff. We asked him to trim the yard. So he trimmed a lot of trees. We've got beautiful fruit trees, that have been growing for a long time. We've got avocados, mango tree, a couple mango trees, some lemon and oranges. And he came and treated all of that, treated the whole yard, replanted some of the grass and did all of that. Another excellent 5-star for that guy. Also, I still haven't met him up to now, but he did an excellent job. Now coming to the interior design, so a couple of things there is that, I made it kind of part of my usual. So usually weekends, I watch videos, on housing and stuff. And who do I see? I see Diaspora Connect and I see your videos. So I've got those streaming on YouTube every weekend and I'll watch those. And I saw somebody you had featured who had done an excellent job on their house. And I saw some of the things they had done there. But then you also made a comment about an internal decor company that was doing great work. Check them out, followed them up on Facebook. And, we invited them and I spoke to him. We tried to meet in South Africa. I'm usually in Pretoria for work. And we tried to meet there. We never met, but we ended up going ahead and doing the work. He does his own, vision because he's got a way in which he plans the whole house. And so Black Apple Décor went in and just did a fabulous job. They just did an awesome job. And, I was in Zambia 2 months ago and I was blown out of the water with what they had done. Excellent work. So they did all the rooms, living room, from the ground up, 6 TVs, did all the mirrors and stuff. Now I'm having them go do our other small apartments, do some tweaks and some improvements there as well. So
Great. I'm really happy to hear that. So now tell me what your plans are for the house, because we went there, we were on site. It is looking fantastic. Tell us what you're going to do with it. I think you gave us a hint when you told us about yourself, but now we've come to the point where you can say a bit more about that.
In terms of what some of the things we're doing with the house, I already have had experience doing Airbnb for almost 5 years now with those 2 apartments. First, we thought, let's just test out and see if it works. So after we did the first one and we saw how well we were doing with it, when we did the second one, we were able to spend a little more there. The systems themselves, in terms of how you set up an Airbnb and how you make it work, the daily system, the monitoring system. So when we were doing this house now, I was able to do those things kind of upfront. I said, if we're going to do like an Airbnb, we're going to do like a high value, high class Airbnb. So let's set them up a certain way. There are things like, right from the beginning this time, I had to put, like a smart electronic door that people just punch in their PIN. Why? Because we learned already that there were people showing up at the Airbnb on the other side at midnight, at 2 a.m. That's whatever the flight arrived. And so they would want to check in as soon as they come. And if the caretaker is not there, then it's an issue. So we put all of those, we put a smart thing on the door. So this particular house, we set it up so we can upgrade it to be a smart house whenever we need to. And so everything is already set up for lighting, for air cons and stuff like that. And that way we can just add things if we need to. Yeah. So after the decor was done, was pretty good and ready to go. We had a client book for a whole month as soon as, I think like a day after, maybe a few days after the decor was done. Yeah.
Oh, Ian, that's amazing.
It's the confirmed bookings that we're already getting on the house. I think another client is coming in tomorrow morning we're doing the weekend, another one next week. So yeah, we set it up so we can do 15 days in a month. We know we are okay. If we do 15 days, we do more than that, well and good. Some months are better than others.
Of course. Of course.
But if it checks out on average the same, then we are okay. Yeah.
That's brilliant. So, Ian, thank you so much for what you've shared. I think it's been such an inspiration for everybody who watches this video. I know that I always love to hear stories like this of people like yourself who are in the diaspora, you're investing back home, and it's working out really well for you. So congratulations to you and your family, and thank you for sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much. Yeah, just to add a couple more things. So kind of working with from a diaspora point of view is that number one, it's good and it adds to the economy, it adds to the country. Over time, you realize the number of people that you actually have on payroll is quite a bit. So that's also a contribution to the country. But also the systems themselves, I think things have improved to make things easier. Between the mobile monies, the bank account being online, those tools kind of help. Like every end of the month, I go to my Airtel money and just start paying off, the guard, the caretaker, the cleaner, the whoever, and just go through that list. And we've got quite a few of those. But it's thanks to these systems working and being able to. Monitoring is a challenge. At the beginning, it was quite a bit. But we've got a lot of tools now where you can check on your house. A couple of things that you put in, smart things to make sure, you see if there's movement. We make sure that there are no cameras inside the houses, but at least outside, that helps. For a little bit of monitoring just to be on the safe side, because you're far away and you're also tempting the workers to get carried away. So, but the point is that we got tools now to help us to make things like easy. I don't know how it would have been, even 10, 20 years ago. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me, Natasha, and Diaspora Connect, and to everybody. There's so many risks, but you have to go for it. It's the nature of the beast. Thank you very much, and you have a great day.
Thank you so much. Now, I'm sure people will want to see a link to the house, and we're going to have it in the description below this video. So if you want to see the full pictures and everything on Airbnb, then you'll see the link below this video. And of course, you'll have seen it as we are talking through the video. So this is just a quick interlude to let you know that Ian shared his top tips of how to run a successful Airbnb with us in our Facebook group. So if you want to hear what he had to say about that, then make sure you go to Facebook and request to join us at Zambia Diaspora Connect. And you can hear all about his top advice about how he was so successful with his Airbnb. So you heard what he said. He renovated it, and within a day or so, it was booked by a client on Airbnb. So if you want to know how he is managing to be so successful at Airbnb, go and join our Facebook group, Zambia Diaspora Connect.
I hope you found that video inspiring. For me, just walking through the house, talking to Ian has given me so much inspiration, and I hope it did for you as well. Now, don't forget that we're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to our channel, then please make sure you do so. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to share it with another Zambian in your community. And we're reviving our Facebook group where I'll be doing a Q&A answering your property related questions. So if you want to talk all things real estate, then please request to join our Facebook group, which is Zambian Diaspora Connect. Otherwise, connect with us on social media. We love to chat with you there, and bye for now.